Alright, so I am doing something a little bit different. I never usually do videos that are this behind the scenes and this valuable, but I wanted to go ahead and start filming these kind of videos that are completely transparent. I don't think any other agencies are willing to do this for you, and I want to do that. So what this video is going to be is I'm going to pull back the curtains and show you the exact roadmap on how we generated $249,000 from a single email. This is the revenue that we got for one client, and I'm going to show you exactly how we did it. But just a disclaimer, we are an agency, so if you are looking to scale your brand and you don't want to do it yourself, you'd rather get an agency in that works on performance and guarantee, then go down below and book in a call with my team. But for the most part, you won't really need an agency unless you just want to hand it off and get guaranteed results, because I'm going to be showing you the step by step. So just to show you the kind of revenue that you will be, kind of looking at over here. If we zoom in here, you can see 249K from this email. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start over here from the beginning of the funnel. I'm going to show you how you can replicate this, and it's going to be a working formula that you can just repeat. So this is essentially how it goes, right? Obviously, you have your traffic, which is coming from either ads or organic content. Then that generates the traffic. That traffic then goes to a landing page. Then there's a pop-up that they give over their information, and then they go into a welcome email. It's as simple as that. This is the funnel that you should be focusing on. So there is a few different ways that you can get traffic, obviously. There's ads and there's content. So you can focus on organic content, you can focus on ads, or you can focus on other people's content. So what I mean by the UGC on number 3 is the best way for you to actually generate customers is usually by using someone else's audience. So whether you pay for PR, or whether you pay to be on someone else's newsletter, or the favorite at the moment, which is getting influencers to post viral TikToks, etc., that bring traffic to your product. That is one of the ways. But now, if we take a look at the ads that are in your direct control, these are some of the best performing ads from multiple different brands, and I want to go over a few ways that you can kind of replicate this and make sure it works for you. So, for example, these products specifically are a kind of a variation, but there's a way to go about it. Number one is obviously showing it on someone and talking about something controversial that will catch on. Okay, so this is what that dress does. The favorite way for kind of supplement brands, health brands to do is they show exactly what is in their product, especially sending it over to educated users, people that know what a good product looks like. Then again, using some kind of testimonials, using before and afters or comparisons. You can go through these and you can kind of pause this video and have a look at the best performing ones. But one of the best ways to do it is this brand in specific, and this one. So first of all, what they do really, really well is they're using a high quality image, but they're also showing a before and after price. That makes it a no-brainer to go ahead and convert. That is the best way to get qualified leads, and you know that they're not signing up for something free. Anytime you do a giveaway or something for free, you're attracting bad quality leads, and that's not what we want. What we want is we want our branding to be clear in the ad. The second thing we want is we want some kind of motive for them to come over. So we need to choose our targeting and everything, but for the most part, we want to make sure that there's a motive. So this one is giving motive in the before and after price. The sale is kind of a no-brainer, so people want to come over. Then the third thing is some kind of call to action. Make it simple, make it to the point. Then the same goes on this far right one. The reason why it works so well is it's almost like a testimonial, but it's kind of an FU testimonial, right? This is really smart way to use your testimonials or reviews, or create a review that is falsified in a way, but not overstepping. So very clearly falsified reviews can work incredibly well. Then you're going to send them over to the website. So essentially, you just want to choose your correct targeting. You want to choose your method. Then you want to create an ad that actually brings over your ideal leads, okay, your ideal customers. And from there, they're going to go to the website. Now, the whole point is once they hit the website, where a lot of brands go wrong, is they just hope that the people go to the website convert. But as you know, the average Shopify conversion rate is about 2 to 3%. So if that's all you're relying on, your chances of getting a sale completely diminish. Whereas if you have a working funnel like this that I'm going to go over, it is a no-brainer. You will generate at least 60% more revenue than before. So what it looks like over here is they go to their landing page And on this landing page, there is the branding that matches the branding and the offer of the ad. Okay, so the ad needs to look very similar to the landing page. That's the first step. The second thing is that it needs to be a high converting page. You don't want to lead them to a homepage. You want to lead them to the product they specifically clicked on. That is kind of the ideal way to do it. Either that or some kind of blog. Okay, so these are the options. You can lead them to the homepage, which is not my favorite option, unless you have a high converting homepage. The second thing you want to do, which is my ideal option, is lead them to a product page, which I'm going to show you down below. Or the third thing you can do is you can lead them to a PR post, which is posted by you or a brand you own or domain you own. And this is a blog going over, here are the 10 best health products of 2025. And number 1 is you with direct link. Then the others are just a very unbiased opinion on the other health brands, but you don't link anything. So your brand comes up number 1 and they then get redirected. There's a really strong way to do things as well, especially if you're a restricted brand. But now if we go down to the best converting landing pages of some of the best brands out there. So you can see Chamberlain Coffee, Skims, everyone knows does incredibly well. These are incredibly well-known brands that generate tons of revenue on autopilot. And here's why. Their landing page matches the ad branding. It matches the quality of the branding as well. And you can see that on here, it summarizes everything you need. You'll see some consistencies. So number 1, it shows the reviews immediately. Number 2, it shows the different options that you have, so flavors or whatever the case is, and a lot of them give you an option to subscribe. Subscribing is the number 1 thing you want to do for your brand, especially if it is a health product. From there, they essentially just summarize the best benefits of the product. Instead of them doing the guessing work and reading through a massive paragraph, they are seeing the points that do the best. This one as well, they're showing some infographics. So you'll see a ton of infographics, how to use, benefits, etc., etc. These are really long landing pages. And the reason for that is because if anyone's searching for additional information, they can go. And it's right there. And it's also in digestible content. So you can see a ton of them just use infographics. You'll see it pretty much consistently. The other ones show similar styles. They show similar products. So if they come from your ad and they see that product, but it's not necessarily their cup of tea, they already know what else you offer. So feel free to pause this video, look at these landing pages, but these are the best ones that you can kind of study from. And you can see how long some of them are. So yeah, you want to lead them to a high converting landing page. From the high converting landing page, you want a pop-up. So this is the trick of what the difference is between brands that end up making millions of dollars per month from email or in general versus brands that are only making tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands, if even. And the difference being that they focus on capitalizing on capturing information. So the ads just lead people to a landing page and then you lose them. And it pretty much ends there. They either convert or you lose them. But the high performing brands do something different. When someone comes to their landing page, they're taking the extra step to make sure that they're capturing that information for follow-ups and for a sales process to follow afterwards, which will then generate them tons more revenue. So again, the lead capture needs to match the branding of the ad and of the landing page. So it's a high quality pop-up. And there are 3 different things that you can say on that pop-up. Number 1 is a discount, percentage discount. So you can say, hey, sign up for 15% off your first order. Fine, that works, and it is the best performing that we've seen across the board, especially if it's a qualified lead that definitely has interest in the product, and your chances are higher if you've done retargeting ads. The second thing you can offer is free value. So let's just say that you are offering some kind of meal plans, online order meal plans. The best way you can do it is to get the information is to say, hey, we're going to send you our 1 month best meal plans that you can make at home within 15 minutes that guarantee you weight loss. Okay, that will get you some downloads. That obviously depends on the targeting and what the message of the ad is, but people are then going to give over their information without you needing to discount your brand. The last thing that you can do is you can say, hey, by the way, we're running a giveaway right now where we will send you over 2 sets of meal prep for completely free to the first 1,000 people or to someone in the first 1,000 people that sign up from this. Okay, so you're kind of pushing urgency. You can choose what kind of discounts or offer you want to get or give, but you need to make sure that you give some kind of offer. You cannot have nothing because you need to get their information. No one's willing to give over their information unless it is, kind of attractive to them. So if we go down, you can see examples of discount offers and dollar off offers. So, hey, it can be super simple. Hey, do you want 20% off your first order? These ones are great because they're more branded and they're more simple to read, very digestible. And then there are some that just don't have an offer. So they'll say, hey, subscribe and we'll send you some recipe info, product updates, etc., etc. This never really works as well, but you can see the idea of all of the information that they give, okay? So from this, you're getting a ton of leads that you can actually go ahead and retarget. And these people who give over their information and didn't convert once they gave over their information from the ad, these people are just on the brink of conversion, but they need some convincing. And that's where the welcome flow comes in. And this is our exact setup for the welcome flow. Again, you can pause this, you can build it out in your backend as well. But this is a welcome flow for new customers. So obviously when someone subscribes to the list, they get an email immediately. It says, hey, welcome to the family, get X% off. This obviously has to match the sign-up form. So from here, you are going to send that email saying, hey, welcome to the brand. Really appreciate you signing up. This is who we are. This is what we do. Here's some testimonials. Here is your discount code. Very simple, to the point. It is a clean, simple email, which I'll show you shortly. From there, you want to wait a day. If they have opened or if they haven't opened or even converted because of that, you want to send them another follow-up email saying, hey, you are in, don't forget your 25% off. Or hey, you forgot your 25% off. Open the email now. That will prompt them to actually engage. Because remember, a lot of people will miss something. They get distracted. Maybe they're at work. Maybe they just don't really see your email at first, or they don't have interest. That's fine. There are tons of opportunities to follow up with them. So that's why we send another follow-up email and then we wait two more days before we follow up with them again. Now, the ones that do actually convert, we don't want to ignore them now. Now they've converted, we want to make sure they're still getting information. So we're going to show them, hey, you're missing out. This is what else you can see from us. Go follow us on our socials. Go look at our blogs. You want to kind of assert your authority. Or what we like to do is we like to make a testimonial email and we like to walk them through how best to use our products now that they're a customer. So we're kind of nurturing these leads to make sure that they become repeat customers, because our service, quote unquote, in the emails is so admirable and so attractive to them that they have to become a repeat purchaser. And the best way we do that is by giving value in those emails. And then afterwards, what we'd really, really like to do, and a lot of brands don't do this, and I think it is so valuable, send an automated email, but that looks like a personal email. So you're going to email them saying, hey, it's Steve from Skims. I wanted to personally reach out. I wanted to thank you. Take the time out. I did see that you subscribed to our newsletter. Things have been crazy, but I wanted to personally welcome you. Thank you so much for trusting in our brand. This is why we do what we do. I really appreciate you. And this is a text-only email. This literally looks like it's coming from the founder of the company. And you want to make it as personal as possible. And even then, we want to make sure that goes to the non-purchasers as well. And these people are going to get prompted with another code. So what we'll say is, hey, it's Steve, blah, blah, blah. This is who we are. This is what we do. Appreciate you. By the way, don't forget you do have 15% off your first purchase. Looking forward to, welcoming you to the family. Something to that degree. This is the structure that we've tested across 120 plus brands, and it hands down has the best results. As you can see here, the first email alone gets a 64% open rate and a 24% placed order rate. Imagine the guarantee that you have of knowing that every 1,000 customers, you have 300 of them that are guaranteed to place an order. Whereas before, you only had a 3% conversion rate relying on Shopify itself. Now you have a guaranteed almost 30% conversion rate. So you are guaranteed, without a doubt, in this case, 240 people every 1,000 customers that you will convert. There is nothing like that. You cannot guarantee anything like that for the fraction of the cost that ads costs. So this is why it's a no-brainer. And the way that we do it, again, we literally just use the exact same structure. We're making sure we're doing this. And if we take a look at the numbers, you are getting 12,000 leads. So these numbers, you had 12,000 people come through this email. 64% of the 12,000 people actually opened, and 24% placed an order. So you can do the calculations, right? 12,000 people actually got this email. Around 24% or 30% of those people actually ended up making a purchase. That equals $249,000 in placed orders, which is an average, that's kind of on an average product of $20 per product. Now, I can almost guarantee that you have a higher ticket product that should convert at a higher rate. And if you had these numbers, I want you to do a calculation on what that would mean for your business. How much revenue would that generate for your business? And go and implement this funnel immediately. And to give you an idea of what that welcome email looks like, we keep it simple. Here are some examples that you can have a look at. This is a brand that does it very simply. They just say, welcome, explore our products, call to action straight away. And you'll see that all of these use a formula. Number one, the logo on the image. Number two, some kind of quick headline. Number three, CTA. Number four, immediately show the products of the brand, either bestsellers or just showcase the products you're talking about in their email. And then ideally some additional information. Now it follows the same thing. Some kind of logo, some kind of headline, main image, call to action, and then some additional information. And you can see it repeats that every single time. But the commonality here is that they keep this email very simple. The welcome email needs to be super, super simple. Your ad and your landing page should have done most of the work, okay? The welcome email is just a quick, hey, this is who we are. It tries to convert them as quickly as possible. And then the follow-up emails is where you try to convert them if they haven't made that conversion. That's where you go into detail about testimonials. These are our products. This is that. The welcome email, you keep simple. And a bonus that a lot of brands don't do, which I would recommend, is you showcase in either a dynamic block or a static block your best selling categories. So not products, especially if you're a simple minimal SKU business, fair enough. But what I would recommend is showing categories and not bestsellers, because it isolates a massive part of your audience that isn't necessarily looking for those products. And this is the funnel. And this is essentially how the funnel looks, like I said, in the welcome email. You list the offer immediately. You give a hero visual summarizing everything that you speak about in the email and text. So, for example, you'll say, hey, welcome to the family, get 25% off with code XYZ. In the first 5 seconds, you know what you're getting. Then a short introduction to the brand plus customer reviews goes a long way. And then mention your categories. And that's pretty much it. That is the funnel that generates $249,000 from one single email on autopilot. Keep in mind, you've done all the legwork. You have the working funnel. Now you just have to increase your budget on ad spend, for example, and suddenly you have a working, well-oiled machine that is guaranteed to spit you out massive amounts of revenue on autopilot. Again, you don't see the kind of return from anywhere else. You don't necessarily need an agency to come in and do this, but obviously it works to, I'll always be biased in saying that it works to outsource to people that know how to do it best. But for the most part, you literally just need a working form, a working landing page, and then a welcome offer that is a no-brainer. But even then, just a working email flow that's guaranteed to get their attention. And again, then you're going to be looking at a 30% conversion rate on average rather than a 3% conversion rate. And I like those odds a little bit better. I'm not necessarily a gambling person, but if I were to bet on something, it would be this. So that's pretty much how you can generate that amount of revenue from one email. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm actually going to link down below the exact structure, and I'm even going to go ahead and my team's going to hate me, but I'm going to go down below and link examples of sign-up forms and welcome emails that are high converting. I've gone ahead and extracted tons over the last few years. I'm going to give you the exact file so that you can just go use it as a reference and rebuild them yourself. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Hope that helps.